Have you ever woken up one day and realized your life is like an old worn-out suitcase? Always the same thing, no shine, full of scuff marks? I watch women at Equinox, at Whole Foods, at the fancy hotel restaurant where I have my morning cappuccino, and I see the same thing. People living on autopilot, complaining that life does not change, but doing everything exactly the same way. Honey, you are going to stay broke like that. The difference between you and me is not just the bank account balance. It is that I discovered a secret that completely changed my life. And no, it was not marrying Mr. Millionaire. That came later. It was way before that, when I was still poor and wearing the same outfit 3 times a week. First, let me tell you something crucial. These 60 days are not for you to lie on the couch waiting for money to fall from the sky. It is not for you to do nothing and wait for miracles. It is for you to act with strategy, but without desperation. It is for you to work, study, prepare yourself, but maintaining peace and confidence that things are going to work out. Now, there is something important I need to tell you. In these 60 days, you need to be surrounded by the right energies, because the people around you directly influence what you can achieve. If you are surrounded by broke people who live complaining, who say rich people are dishonest, that money does not bring happiness, that you are dreaming too big, my friend, you are going to stay poor, because the energy of these people will pull you down. I do not mix with broke people. The energy is different. Broke people have a scarcity mindset. They keep complaining, seeing problems in everything, discouraged. Rich people have an abundance mindset. They see opportunity, think of solutions, act with confidence. So if you want to change your life in 60 days, you need to start distancing yourself from those who pull you down and getting closer to those who inspire you to grow. Let me give you a practical example. Let us say you want to earn more money. You are not going to sit there visualizing money falling into your account and that is it. You are going to decide, okay, I want to earn $5,000 more per month. Then you are going to think, what do I need to do to make this happen? Do I need a promotion? Do I need to learn a new skill? Do I need to start a side business? And then you are going to act. But you are going to act in peace, trusting that each step you take is leading you to the result you want. Let me tell you something that Bianca Andrade Bocarosa taught Brazil without even trying. But wait, let me adapt this for you. Think about Huda Katan. She started Huda Beauty in her apartment. She was a makeup artist working on celebrities, but she wanted more. She started a blog, then YouTube, creating content from a tiny space with basic lighting. And do you know what made the difference? Absolute clarity of what she wanted. She was not there making videos thinking, oh, will this work? Am I good enough? No. She put on her makeup and recorded. Every single day. And today? The woman has a fortune estimated at over $500 million. 500 million, honey. Her company is worth billions. And it all started when she had nothing, just a camera and a dream. What was the difference? She did not wait for life to change. She changed her life in 60 days of decision. It was not luck. It was strategy, focus, and a lot of mental clarity. Now relax your shoulders. Seriously. You are tense. Did you notice? This is what I want to talk to you about today. This tension you carry all day long is exactly what is preventing you from getting rich. Because wealth, my friend, is not just money in the account. It is a mental state. And 60 days is more than enough time for you to flip this switch in your head and completely transform your life. I know this because it happened to me. It happened to my students. It happened to Huda. And it is scientifically proven. Let me explain something called neuroplasticity. Calm down, I am not going to speak difficult. Neuroplasticity is basically the capacity your brain has to reorganize itself, to create new pathways, new connections. Like when you go every day the same route to work and suddenly discover a shortcut. Your brain does this too. It can learn new things, change patterns, adapt. And do you know how long the brain takes to start making these significant changes? About 60 days. Scientists have discovered that when you repeat a new behavior, a new way of thinking, your brain literally changes. The connections between neurons strengthen. It is like you have a trail in the middle of the woods. At first, it is hard to pass because there are plants, branches, rocks. But if you pass every day in the same place, the trail becomes clearer and clearer. The plants die, the ground becomes exposed, and then you have a path. With the brain, it is the same thing. So when I say you can change your life in 60 days, it is not desperate coach talk selling dreams. It is science, honey. Your brain was made to change. You just need to give it the right stimuli. But here comes the problem. Most women get stuck because they do not know where to start. They stay there, anxious, wanting everything to change overnight, but without doing anything different. Then a month passes, 2 months, a year, and life continues the same. The paycheck hits the account and disappears before the 15th. The credit card is always at the limit. You work, and never see the money left over. And you still have to put up with people saying money does not bring happiness. Of course it does not, because whoever says that never had enough money to test the theory. If you are feeling like this, if you are even scared to open the bank app, if you feel you live tight and can never save a dollar, I need you to listen to me carefully, because what I am going to teach you now can completely change the course of your life in the next 2 months. Here is something I need to tell you about that will completely accelerate this transformation process. Because look, you can do everything I am teaching you on your own. You can keep trying, making mistakes, learning, and eventually you will get there. But it will take longer. There will be more frustration, there will be more stumbling, or you can have access to the codes that rich women already know, those details that make all the difference. The way to dress, to speak, to behave, to position yourself. Because it is not enough to have money in the account if you continue with a broke posture. People will treat you like you are broke. Opportunities will pass you by. You will remain invisible. That is why I want to tell you about the course, Look Rich Without Spending Much. And look, I am not the author of the course, but I am an affiliate because I truly believe in the content. This course teaches exactly that, the visual, behavioral, and social codes that rich women use. How to dress to look like you have money, even if your budget is tight. How to behave in sophisticated environments. How to speak, how to walk, how to position yourself. Everything that nobody teaches you. But that makes a brutal difference in the way people treat you and in the opportunities that appear for you. And the best part, the course has a promotional launch price because the classes are still being released gradually. As soon as the course is complete, the price will go up to full price with no discount. So if you want to have access to these codes, if you want to transform not only your bank account, but also your presence, your image, the way you are seen in the world, this is the moment. The link is in the description. Because look, I am going to tell you a truth that might hurt a little. It is not enough to have money. You need to know how to use that money to create an image of success. You need to know how to behave to be respected. You need to know the codes to be accepted in the circles where money circulates. And nobody is born knowing this. I had to learn. Huda Kattan had to learn. All the women who left poverty and reached wealth had to learn. And now you can learn too, quickly and directly. First, you need absolute clarity of what you want. And when I say clarity, it is not that vague dream of, oh, I want to be rich. No, you need to know exactly what you want. How much money do you want to earn? How do you want to live? Where do you want to live? Who do you want to be with? I had clarity when I was poor. I knew I wanted to have a beautiful house, travel first class, have a personal driver, buy clothes without looking at the price. And I saw this in my head every day. It was not fantasy. It was a plan. Neuroplasticity works better when you have a clear goal, because then your brain knows where to direct the energy. It is like putting the address in the GPS. If you do not know where you are going, any road works, and you will end up lost. Second, you need peace. I know it seems silly to talk about peace when you have bills overdue and your account in the red, but listen to what I am going to tell you. As long as you are in anxiety, in tension, in desperation, your brain cannot function properly. Stress releases a hormone called cortisol that literally hinders your ability to think clearly, to make good decisions, to have new ideas. It is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. You can move, but slowly, and forcing the engine. So what do? Every day, several times a day, you stop and relax. Breathe deeply. Drop your shoulders. Tell yourself, I trust it is going to work out. I trust things are going to get better. It may seem too simple, but this exercise changes your brain chemistry. And when you are at peace, you can see opportunities you did not see before. You can make better decisions. You can act strategically instead of reacting out of desperation. I do this to this day. Every Saturday morning, I grab my gourmet coffee, sit at my marble desk, and put in my spreadsheet everything I spent during the week. It is my ritual. And do you know why? Because controlling money is chic, and whoever does not control is controlled. Wealth is method, not luck, but I do it in peace, without stress, because I know everything is under control. Third, you need to stop digging. Do you know that seed story? When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not keep digging it up every day to see if it is sprouting, because if you do that, you will delay the growth or even kill the plant. With life changes, it is the same thing. You decide what you want, do the necessary actions, and then let the process happen. Stop checking your bank account 10 times a day. Stop measuring if it is giving results. Stop being anxious, wanting everything to happen immediately. I know it is difficult, but think with me. If you plant a seed today, it does not become a tree tomorrow. It takes time, but if you take care of it properly, water it in the right amount, give it sun, In 60 days, you will already see significant changes. And in a few months, you will have fruits. That is how it happened to me. When I decided I was going to go to college and did not have money even for the basics, I did not stay there desperate, looking for a solution every day. I made the decision, maintained peace, and trusted. 2 months later, a family I barely knew offered to pay for my entire college, 4 years of tuition. I did not force it. I did not beg. I just maintained clarity and peace. When my marriage was bad and I wanted to win back Mr. Millionaire, I did not get desperate, crying, begging for attention. I took care of myself, stayed in my lane, maintained peace. 2 months later, he came back completely in love, treating me like a queen. When I was without money during the pandemic, everyone desperate, I maintained peace. I believed something good was going to come out of that situation. 2 months later, Mr. Millionaire's job came back with a higher salary than before. 60 days, honey. It is a curious deadline, but it works when you do it the right way. So what do you do in these 60 days? First week, you decide with absolute clarity what you want. Write it, visualize it, feel it as if it were already reality. Second to fourth week, you act. Do what needs to be done, but maintaining peace, without anxiety, without desperation, trusting the process. Fifth to eighth week, you continue acting, but now with more naturalness. It has already become a habit. You do not even need to think much, and that is when things really start to happen. I am going to give you a list of feelings you need to cultivate in these 60 days. First, certainty. You need to have absolute certainty that it is going to work. It is not hope. It is not desire. It is certainty. Second, peace. I already talked about this, but I will repeat it because it is important. You need to be at peace, relaxed, confident. Third, confidence. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Fourth, clarity. Know exactly what you want and why you want it. Fifth, relaxation. Drop your shoulders, breathe deeply, stop being tense. Sixth, gratitude. Be grateful for what you already have while waiting for what is still to come. And there are feelings you need to eliminate. First, doubt. Stop doubting yourself. Stop thinking you will not make it. Second, anxiety. Stop being anxious, wanting everything to happen now. Third, worry. Stop worrying about what might go wrong. Fourth, restlessness. Quiet your mind and your soul. Fifth, confusion. Decide what you want and stop changing your mind every day. Sixth, tension. Relax. Life is not a desperate race. I know it is not easy to maintain these good feelings all the time, because life happens. Bills arrive. There are problems at work. Kids are crying. There is a bunch of stuff to throw you off balance. But here is the secret. You do not need to be perfect 100% of the time. You just need to be in these good feelings most of the time. If you stay 70% of the time in peace, confidence, and certainty, and 30% in anxiety and worry, it will still work out. Because the scale is more to the positive side. So when that wave of fear comes, of anxiety, of doubt, you do not freak out. You breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, and say, "This is temporary. I know it is going to work out. I trust the process." And go back to peace. Let me tell you one more story. I had a follower who spent 3 years trying to adopt a child. 3 years on the list, waiting, anxious, and nothing happened. Then she decided to do it differently. For 2 months, every day she imagined the child in her arms, felt the sensation, saw the scene, believed it was going to happen. But she did it in peace, without anxiety, without digging to see if the phone call was going to come. 2 months later, she received the call. And today she has her child. It is not magic. It is science. It is how the brain works. It is how life responds when you are at the right frequency. And look, I understand if you are thinking, "Duchess, but I am so buried in debt, so desperate, so hopeless. How am I going to be able to stay at peace? How am I going to trust it is going to work out when I barely have money to eat?" I understand because I have been there. I have had to choose between paying rent or buying food. I have been embarrassed at the supermarket checkout because the card was declined. I sat on the bus looking at the mansions thinking, will I ever live in a place like that? And do you know what saved me? It was deciding I was not going to accept that life anymore, that I deserved more, that I was going to do whatever was necessary to change. And then I did. I studied financial education obsessively. I read books, took courses, learned to invest. I made epic mistakes, lost money, but continued, because I had clarity of what I wanted, and I had peace that it was going to happen. And it happened. In 2 months of mental shift, my life started to change, and in a few years, I got where I wanted to get. You can do the same. It does not matter where you are today. It does not matter how much money you have in the account. It does not matter how many mistakes you have already made. What matters is that you decide now that the next 60 days are going to be different, that you are going to apply what I am teaching you, that you are going to have clarity, peace, confidence, and action. If you do this, I guarantee you, in 60 days, you will look back and will not believe the change. It may not be the complete change. It may not be everything you dreamed, but it will be real, tangible progress. And then you continue, another 60 days, and more. And when you realize it, you will be living a completely different life. Now, if you liked this video, if you want to learn more about how to get rich, how to change your mindset, how to create the life you deserve, I need you to do something for me, or rather, for yourself. Subscribe to this channel, hit the bell to receive notification every time I post a new video, and leave a like if you really want to change your life, because that like is your commitment to yourself that you are going to do things differently from now on. And let me summarize what you learned today, because I know it was a lot of information. 60 days is enough time to change your life, but you need absolute clarity of what you want. You need to maintain peace and confidence even when things seem difficult. You need to act strategically, but without desperation. You need to stop digging to see if it is giving results. And you need to cultivate the right feelings: certainty, peace, confidence, clarity, gratitude. Do this for 60 days and tell me the result. I bet you will be impressed. And to finish, I want you to comment down below a phrase. If you liked the video, if you understood the message, comment, "Peace and strategy change everything." Just that. Peace and strategy change everything. Because that is exactly what is going to transform your life. You are not born rich, but you do not have to die broke either. You can choose differently. You can decide that the next 60 days are going to be the beginning of your new life. And when you discover you can be rich, you will understand you can do anything. Because poverty is a mental state, and mental state can be changed more easily than marital status. So relax those shoulders, breathe deeply, and repeat with me, "I trust. It is going to work out. I deserve it. And it is going to happen." See you in the next video, where I am going to teach you more secrets on how to live the life you deserve. Until then, stay rich, stay fabulous, and remember, Duchess Dollars is here to remind you that you were not born to pay overdue bills. You were born to sign checks. Bye, honey.